54 Days is a psychological thriller, and 54 Days was a film that I worked on last year that started as a short film and to our surprise became a feature film, and after that started getting accepted into festivals and started getting awards at festivals, and I'm really excited about what it's become. And I know that when you put together an independent film on a low budget, especially outside of the United States, it can be really scary about what might happen to it and whether or not it will ever get distribution, but especially when there aren't any famous names in it. But I think about some of my favorite films of all time, The Princess Bride, The Wizard of Oz. These films had no names in them at that time, and they weren't really popular when they first came out, but they became cult films, and I think this film has a chance of doing that too, so it's exciting. Well, I think it was probably helpful to be in a confined working space because the characters were indeed living in a confined space, so it just made it that much easier to know what that felt like, and required less imagination, and the types of things that start to happen when too many people are in too small a space start to reveal themselves. And yeah, so I think it was really helpful in terms of people trying to have conversations in corners but getting overheard, and the frustration of not having privacy, and the frustration of being able to smell people all the time. That was all very real. Yeah, so something I love about working with Tim is how much he respects the contribution of his actors and how interested he is in what we have to bring to the table, and I think it requires an intelligent actor, and it uses an intelligent actor really well. And I love how often we were asked, what would your character do, and how he would give us certain circumstances for the characters and ask us to improvise them and use parts of that worked really well in the script. I also think that he was really interested in listening to what we had to bring in terms of the craft and the dynamic and the blocking and several different aspects of the film. He allowed us to see playback so that could help inform our decisions in terms of the decisions we were making in the scene, and I loved all of that. It made me feel like a whole person when I was acting in this film, rather than a piece of clay or a soldier being told what to do or follow out orders. And I think that it made for a better piece of work in the end because of that. Seeing 54 Days on the screen for the first time was very cool. It's confronting seeing your face that large and that close, and you kind of, it took me a little while to adjust to that, I think. It was actually the first time I'd gotten to see myself on the big screen. I had filmed a few things before that, but I hadn't had a chance to see them. So I had lots of different emotions running through me, a lot of criticism about myself in terms of my acting and how I looked and that kind of thing. But after I'd seen it a few times on the screen, I think I let myself kind of be taken along into the story a little bit more, and to see some things that I liked or felt that I did well. But I can tell you, I can never see the film as an outsider. There's just too much going on for me, and tiny little things that I realize, that were maybe taken from another part, another day that we filmed, or I know what was going on in the background. It reminds me of something else that somebody said at that point, and yeah, so I've got all that going on, and so I realize the impossibility of my experiencing the story as a viewer.